Am I the asshole for laughing at my mom's boyfriend for the birthday gift he gave her? Sorry for grammar, English is not my main language, and sorry for the long post. So this happened a few years ago, but this man, I'll call him Nick, still doesn't talk to me. I'm 25 female, and I was 23 at the time. I had my first job and my mom's birthday was just around the corner, so I decided to gift her something bigger than I've been able to buy all those past years. She's always liked to sew, and her sewing machine broke a few months back, so I went and found the perfect sewing machine. It had flowers on it, and she loves flowers, seemed good quality, good reviews, etc. I order her it, and it would arrive the next day. Nick was at my house at the moment. He lives like 4 hours away by train, so he's not here often, maybe a few days every 2-3 months. I had to go to work, so I told Nick that the gift was arriving that day, and I was looking around for a place to hide it. He noticed, and told me that he's just going to hide it in a drawer. I told him that it would not fit, and then he asked me what did I buy. When I told him that it was a sewing machine, he started laughing. He said that I don't know my mother, that a sewing machine was not appropriate for a birthday, since a birthday gift has to be something more thoughtful and meaningful. I got pissed since I'm really close with my mom, and I really think I know her more than anyone else. I just left. Her birthday comes, and she loves my gift. She was thinking about buying a new sewing machine since hers was broken, and she uses it pretty often, and she had her eye on the same exact model I bought. The next day I told her what Nick said, and she said that she knew, and they argued about it. That night we went out to have a drink with my brother, Nick and her friends. At some point of the night, I asked my mom what Nick's gift was, and she told me that he gifted her lingerie. Yes, lingerie. A bra and a thong. Here's where I could be the AH. I started laughing my ass off, turned to Nick and told him, after that speech you gave me about sentimental value and not knowing my mother, you gave her lingerie? While still laughing. I don't think anyone was paying much attention though, they were drunk and having fun, but I think I still embarrassed him. He tried to make a point, but I just couldn't stop laughing, so he eventually gave up. Up to this day, he still doesn't say a single word to me since then. When my lovebird passed, he was 15 and I had him most of my life. Nick happened to be at my house. Not a single word about it. I know he doesn't care about birds, but he knows that my lovebird was damn important to the family, especially me and my brother. Every time he comes, not a single hi either. Like an hour ago, I went to the living room, and Nick was there with my brother. My brother said hi, and I said hi back to both of them. Nick just said, "Hi sweetheart," to my dog, that was coming behind me. Anyway, was I the asshole for laughing at him for his birthday gift to my mom? ETA. They've been dating for 7 years now, 5 at the time. Not the asshole. Seems like he was mad you actually thought about your mom unlike him, who gave her a chore for her birthday. Wear this that I got you so you can have sex with me on your birthday. Who? Just keep being there for your mom and hopefully she loses him eventually. Okay, I'm going to point out the obvious. The boyfriend is married. He lives 4 hours away and only visits for a few days every 2-3 months. Yeah, right. Seems like your mom's boyfriend is not matured enough. Just ignore him and don't give him the satisfaction of seeing you getting upset with his behavior towards you. Keep a who cares attitude. I can only assume that your mom's boyfriend is a petulant child, because that's how he's behaving. You are not the asshole, and it's interesting that he can dish out that poor behavior but can't take it. Not the asshole. It was a bit petty, but if pettiness were a crime, most people on here would be charged. He was the one who dished it out first, so if he can't take it, that's his problem. However, I am wondering if you've tried to have a conversation about the situation since it happened, or if he has. Years is a long time to hold a grudge for something like this. He's obviously not getting rid of you. While it sounds like he's being ridiculous, if you think this is potentially a lifetime relationship your mom is involved in, it might be worth it for you to try to bury the hatchet. If he refuses, that's still on him, but it might be worth it for your mom's sake. Food for thought. Regardless of how you proceed, not the asshole. Does your mom see Nick snubbing and ignoring you? This is something to take to your mother. She can insist he at least be polite to you. She can remind him that he laughed first. Fortunately for you, you laughed longest. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that she ruined her own life? I am a 19 boy, who left home the day my mom kicked me out. I had a difficult childhood and adolescence. My mother became a mother at 15, she has addictions, and we have almost no contact with our family. My father left when I was little, and we never had a stable home. We often ended up living in the homes of the men my mother dated. She couldn't hold down a job, and the house was always in poor condition and dirty. She never cared whether my younger sister or I went to school. In the end, I was the one who took care of everything. My sister, who is now 16, the house, getting food, and myself. Even so, my mother made sure to remind us constantly how much trouble we caused in her life, and in the lives of others. Paradoxically, the best thing that ever happened to me was being kicked out of the house. I had to study and work at the same time, and I still do, but I finally found some peace and stability. So you can imagine my surprise when, a few days ago, I got a call from my sister in the evening. She was crying inconsolably and asking me to come home as quickly as possible. My roommate drove me there in his car, and when we arrived, the scene was horrific. There were broken plates on the floor, trash everywhere. The place smelled of confinement and filth. The cat was drinking water from the toilet, and my sister was sitting on the stairs, crying. Then I heard shouting upstairs. To sum it up, my stepfather had kicked my sister out of the house, and he ended up kicking my mother out too, which only increased her anger towards my sister. As soon Mom saw me, she became even more enraged. She said we were so selfish that we wouldn't even let her be happy with the man she loved for our behavioral problems. That was enough for me. I told my mom that everything that happened was her fault, not ours. My mom yelled at me that I was just trying to justify myself, that I always did the same thing, blame her for everything. She said that my sister and I were the ones truly responsible for how her life had ended, that we had pushed her into all of that we never appreciated her efforts. I insisted that wasn't true, that it had always been her responsibility. And suddenly she said something that made me feel terrible, that she had done the best she could. And then I felt guilty. Because, maybe, in her mind, she did believe she was doing the best she could. Maybe she really didn't know how to do it differently. Later, when things calmed down a bit, my sister told me the reason for the whole fight. Apparently, it had all started because she had defended me. My stepfather had said that I was an idiot and a slacker who he would never give money to, and my sister confronted him. That's what started it all. And that made me feel worse. No matter how hard I try to get away from it all, from that house, from that kind of life, I end up being the reason why everything goes up in flames again. So, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. None of this is your or your sister's fault. You need to get as far away as you can from your mother and stepfather. For you, they are poison. If you can, help your sister do the same. It may be a good idea to contact CPS on her behalf. Someone can try their hardest AMD that can still not be good enough. Maybe she did the best she knew. Doesn't mean that she wasn't awful and negligent and abusive to you and your sister. You can be free of this. You're doing well already in your own. Your sister sounds like she will be okay when she's able to leave at 18 as well. Your mom can seek out therapy or parenting classes or talk to older, wiser adults at different centers, at work, at religious groups, etc. She could do better over the years. She could have made different choices. Not your fault. None of this is ever your fault. You felt bad for her because you're a good person, but you don't owe her anything now. Keep your head down, work in your own life, and help your sis. Not the asshole. Your mom, unfortunately, never grew up and matured even after 2 kids. I'm sorry this was your beginning to life. Keep working on yourself. Help your sister if you can and get as far away from that mess as possible. It's toxic and you deserve to have a happy life. Hugs. Never, honey, you will never be Thea's hole in this situation. She may have done the best she could, but it still was a piss-poor job. I can only imagine what her life was like to be a mother at 15. Does she have a relationship with her own parents? Sounds like she might have had a shitty life growing up too. I've always said, you can't teach what you never learned. I hope you are someplace stable and safe. It's too bad you can't take your sister with you. Don't hold out hope that your mother will ever apologize. She may not ever know how to. That's on her to learn. Hugs. Not the asshole. Please help your sister and Kat get out of that toxic and abusive home. Your mom can fend for herself. Help your sister out if you can. And please take the cat. Am I the asshole for not wanting my in-laws to stay with us more than once a month? I live in a suburb of a large city. My in-laws live about 3.5 hours south in a small town. They come up often for doctor appointments, shopping, or just to play. Sometimes there's a month between visits, but sometimes it's literally every weekend. I love my husband and my in-laws, but I hate feeling like our home is a hotel. They can afford a hotel but prefer staying with us. My MIL loves to cook, and I used to feel pressure to cook big meals so I wouldn't look lazy. But now I just tell my husband to suggest takeout because I'm tired of hosting. I also compulsively clean before they come, which drives me crazy. Our house is nearly 5,000 SF, and I deep clean everything, baseboards included, because I can't stand the thought of them seeing dirt. It's self-imposed and ironic, since their house isn't spotless. But I can't let it go. My husband helps, but he rushes, and I feel bad complaining since at least he's helping. This constant open-door policy has become a major sore spot in our marriage. Having my MIL, FIL, and 2SJLs stay so often makes me feel like it's not even my home anymore. For context, my parents live 20 minutes away and visit often, but they don't stay overnight. They come for a few hours, bring food, help clean up, and even help with house projects. My in-laws, on the other hand, just drop their plates in the sink after dinner to help. My husband does help me clean after dinner, but I always feel like the rude one for taking him away from them. He says I should be as welcoming to his family as he is to mine, but it's not the same. My parents visit, help, and leave. His family stays entire weekends and adds to my workload. As a stay-at-home mom, I feel like the meals and house reflect on me, so it's extra stressful. He insists they don't care, but he's their golden boy, they'd never judge him, just me. To make things worse, one SIL is living with us for 5 months while she's in school. I agreed to it to be kind, even though I'm an introvert. I'm terrified the visits will become even more frequent, and my husband just can't say no. The biggest issue is that my MIL cannot take a hint. Even when we're clearly burned out, or when my husband tries to subtly dodge another visit, she keeps asking until he gives in. He doesn't really want them here that often either, but he's scared of offending her. She gets her feelings hurt easily, and instead of setting boundaries, he says yes and leaves me to deal with the fallout. So what's the right move? Should I ask him to limit their stays and risk offending them? He's hesitant, and it's becoming a major source of tension. I think once a month overnight visits are perfectly fair, but he says he can't tell them that. Am I the asshole? Sorry, but your husband needs to grow a spine and tell his mom, no, let her whine and complain all she wants. She now has to wait to be invited. It doesn't matter that she'll blame you. She'll blame you no matter what. If he can't do that, tell him that you'll go home to your parents' house, and he can deal with his parents by himself. And you may start extending your stay the longer this goes on. So unless he wants to lose his wife and child, he needs to deal with his parents. Oof, I got tired just reading that. You have a huge husband problem. He needs to step up and impose reasonable boundaries on his family's visits and up the extra workload when they visit. Not the asshole. Start planning things with your family at their place. Your husband can host his parnets at home by himself. Not the asshole. This would drive me nuts, and I'd book myself into a hotel when they visited. Also, you have a husband problem. You're definitely not the asshole for wanting to be comfortable in your own home. Hubby could certainly step up by growing a spine and standing up to his parents and telling them to stay in a hotel, etc. For your part, let the compulsive cleaning go. If they do judge you, does it really matter? As long as your house is more or less tidy, most people would consider it a win. Not the asshole. That is too much. If your husband won't bend, tell him he has to do absolutely everything. Am I the asshole for not wanting a gift my husband gave me? I was paying bills the other night and noticed my husband ordered a brand new Apple Watch from our cell carrier. I was kind of annoyed he would make such a large purchase since I'm on LOA. We just had a baby, and I didn't qualify for maternity leave. I asked him about it, and he said it's because his old watch was stolen at work. He left it in one of the tucks. He shows me it's at some random location. So I'm even more mad one of his co-workers stole his watch, and he chose not to say anything to the boss. Obviously whoever lives in this next town over is the thief. He gets the watch delivered the next day and surprises me with it. Says it's a late birthday present, since he didn't get me anything super nice for my birthday over a month ago. I didn't exactly believe him, because yesterday he told me he wanted a new watch. He said he just used that as a cover because I ruined the surprise. His watch really was stolen though. It makes no sense though. I already have an older Apple Watch 7 that I do not use at all. I told him, why on earth would you buy me this big expensive $800 watch that I didn't even ask for? He said he thought I lost my watch and just wanted to get me something nice for my birthday since I always get him nice gifts. Apparently the watch was a good option because it's financed on our monthly bill. However, I can't justify spending $800 on something I didn't want. I'm not even working right now. We don't need to add to our bills. I just want to return the watch, but he said I'm being ungrateful. I kind of feel bad for not wanting it, but also like he doesn't know me well enough to try and get me something I would actually use. It feels like he put no thought into the gift. So am I the asshole for wanting to return the watch? Update. The watch he lost wasn't $800, it was $400. I bought ours at the same time. Also, when I pay the bills, it's with his money. He's the main income source, per his choice. So apparently it wasn't stolen, he just never claimed it. Someone turned it into one of the bosses. His co-workers told him someone had turned it in. He just kept forgetting to ask for it. He asked one of the bosses yesterday and was told he hadn't seen it. So he thought it was fishy for it to be in the next town over if someone had turned it in. Y'all kind of got me nervous with the comments, so I accused him of giving it away to someone or leaving it in some girl's car. This made him immediately text his main boss to ask about it. Boss said yes, he will give it to him. Monday. I still don't know if I believe that he bought the watch for me. He swears he did and was just trying to do something nice. I just couldn't understand how he could let his watch go. Stolen or unclaimed. I'm glad I wasn't just overreacting. His watch was stolen, and he can track it, but he doesn't care to get it back. Are we sure it wasn't stolen by some nice girl in the next town over that he is just friends with? Seems weird he would just shell out $800 for a new watch instead of get his back. Seriously though, he just bought himself a new watch and pivoted when you found out. It's nice that he can't get you anything nice, but gets himself nice shit. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He is lying. If someone stole his watch at work, why would he not report it to his employer/security and also make a police report? If he knows where it is via tracking, it seems like that would make getting it back quite easy. Something weird is going on. Send the watch back and put the money in your personal savings account to spend on something you actually want. I'd be playing private detective and seeing if a woman lives at his watch's new address. I think he got you the watch knowing you wouldn't really want it, and he could just say, well, I'll use it then. Not the asshole, this was all a ruse to get himself a new watch when his other one was lost. Not the asshole. I believe that if a couple is in a bad financial situation, gifts of this expense should be paused until finances are in order. Especially since you two have a new baby and you don't have paid maternity leave. Also, you don't want the gift and you two can't really afford it right now. It makes no sense. You also don't even use your older one. Return it. Save the money. Not the asshole. Return it ASAP. By the way, a gift is paid for, something charged to your account is a debt. I made a huge deal about establishing this with my husband early on. Gifting debt is not a gift I want. Return before I'll use it if you're not going to statement slips out. Gift yourself a day out while he's home with the baby. Take a book to a cafe, go to a matinee, maybe a pedicure. Just go to the location where his watch is and find out already.